Tonight's transmission concerns observation. Most people believe their television only works when they turn it on. A screen, a remote control, entertainment, something passive, something harmless. But modern televisions are no longer simple screens. They are computers, connected systems, data collection devices, and in many homes around the world, they are quietly watching what people watch. A technology called ACR exists inside many smart televisions. Automatic content recognition. Most people have never heard of it. And yet it can monitor viewing behavior in remarkable detail. What you watch, how long you watch, what you skip, what you pause, what captures attention, what loses attention. Some systems can even analyze viewing habits across multiple applications and devices. Streaming platforms, live television, gaming systems, advertisements, all transformed into behavioral data. And the strange part is not that this technology exists. The strange part is how invisible it became. Because modern surveillance rarely looks threatening, it looks convenient. Recommendations, personalization, suggested content, smarter advertising, a better user experience. At least that is how it is presented, but behind convenience something else quietly forms. A profile, not just of what people watch, but potentially who they are. Interests, habits, patterns, attention spans, emotional preferences, behavioral tendencies. And perhaps most people never notice because the system does not feel aggressive. There are no alarms, no warnings, no dramatic red lights. Only silence, a silent exchange, entertainment in exchange for information. And over time, people adapted to this idea. Because modern technology rarely asks directly for trust anymore, it simply becomes normal. Years ago, the idea of a television collecting behavioral information would have sounded disturbing. Today, most people accept terms and conditions without reading them. Settings remain enabled, permissions remain active, and devices continue learning. Quietly, constantly. Every click becomes information. Every pause becomes information. Every repeated viewing pattern becomes information. Because data itself became one of the most valuable resources on Earth. Not oil, not gold, human behavior. Corporations compete to understand attention because attention predicts action, and action predicts profit. What people watch can reveal far more than entertainment preferences. It can reveal routines, political interests, emotional states, fears, curiosity, purchasing behavior, late-night habits, and perhaps something even more important, predictability. Because systems do not necessarily need to understand human beings perfectly. They only need to understand them well enough to influence decisions. One recommendation changes what someone watches. One advertisement changes what someone buys. One algorithm slowly shapes what someone believes. And most of this happens invisibly, without force, without commands, without people fully realizing it. The television no longer simply displays content. The television studies reactions, and perhaps this is only the beginning. Because future systems will become more intelligent, more personalized, more adaptive, more predictive. The uncomfortable question is no longer whether devices collect information. Most already do. The uncomfortable question is this: what happens when the objects inside homes understand human behavior better than human beings understand themselves? Because perhaps the screen was never passive. Perhaps the screen was always watching back. Transmission complete. Static observer signing off.